So on the main event, we have Penthouse with his translator, Alex. Now, earlier on, Penthouse was in the promo, didn't have his translator. But now that he comes to the ring and he's not speaking, he has his translator, his heel translator. Penthouse is a heel, and he has a heel translator, but he's on the babyface team consisting of Kaz and Kingston. And they are opposing Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, who are a tag team, and then Pieface of the Hardley Boys. Some people like that. Some people like the Cucamonga Kids better. You weren't a Hardley Boys fan, but regardless. And Callis is in their corner, so you got 3 heels with a manager against 2 baby faces and a heel with a manager. Pieface comes out and wearing the belt backwards with a leather beret on. She wore a leather beret, the kind she wore when she had rotten matches. Anyway.
I want to apologize to the estate of Prince, but anyway,
yeah,
go ahead.
Well, you know what? That would have been a pretty good fucking one-on-one confrontation. Old Pieface Hardley boy here against Prince. I wonder which one would have been more man than the other one. Anyway, so Kazarian starts hot. What? What are you laughing at?
I don't even know sometimes.
You think Prince could have kicked the shit out of old Pieface?
Is he in his heels?
He could be.
Oh, maybe.
There's plenty of heels on this program. Whatever happened to their women's group, AEW heels?
I don't think too many people joined it.
You don't think that? Because they would need women for that. None of these guys appeal to women. Anyway, so Kazarian starts out hot, and Frankie Kazarian is a great talent, a great worker. And Carl Anderson, I think, is probably the best in-ring guy on the other team. They did some good stuff. And then Penthouse and Pieface get in and do some choreographed square dancing routines. Of course, Corpse referee is here. He did nothing because he's got to be involved in anything that the Cucamonga Kids are involved in. Pieface was cosplaying Kurt Hennig tonight. Did you see the Kurt Hennig head in the turnbuckle bump? He didn't, of course, do it as naturally and with the grace and the athletic ability and the torque and the power of Kurt Hennig, but he
or even his brother,
well.
or even his brother. I thought that was one of the things that really stood out about this match was, you know, we watch them together so often and they're both so douchey. However, if you're really going to judge them on talent, 90% of the talent went to one member of the family, and that's Nick Jackson, who, whatever you want to say, he hits his shit. It looks smooth. Sometimes it's a bit too choreographed, but not like his brother.
It's choreographed, but it looks smooth. It's like the professional acrobats that can get on television instead of the ones on the street where they're just acrobating for change.
And then his brother's another story, Matt.
But now his brother, you must say, if Balding got all 90% of the athletic ability, then Pieface got 90% of the hair. Right?
I guess so. He kind of looks a little like the Wolf Boy, doesn't he?
And somebody said, you know, hey, it's not fair to say that the young bucks look like middle school kids because I've never seen a middle school kid with a receding hairline. So there's a point there.
You never met Dory Funk Jr.
God damn it. That was a line at the Wrestler when they were saying, well, Vern Gagne is too old or Mike Bullard is too old to be the champion. And fucking Ed Asner says, well, look at Dory Funk Jr. He's bald. Yeah, but he's 29. Anyway, so then Kingston and Gallows did a spot and all 6 of them went to the floor. The referee stood there and did nothing. That's his greatest talent. And they were out on the floor forever. 6-way, just over and over. And then they went to the break. And then they went to picture in picture on the break, and they were in the floor for the next minute or 2 minutes, and the referee did nothing. So they started having, when the bell rang and Kazarian and Anderson started out, they started having a match, and it wasn't bad. And every time somebody else got in, it got worse. And then when they went to the floor, it went to fucking hell. So finally, Kaz makes big fucking comeback. As I mentioned, Kaz and Anderson are good workers. Gallows is a good big man. Eddie Kingston is a good gimmick. Penthouse and Pieface are there, but they can't have matches in this company without tossing in Gaga, without overbooking the finishes, without putting in guys like Penthouse and Pieface that have a style clash with anybody who's not an accomplished middle school gymnast. And then everybody started doing everything at 100 miles an hour. Everybody hit everybody with everything. There was no way to follow it. And then suddenly, Balding Buck appears, fresh as a daisy, from out of nowhere in street clothes and sprays Penthouse in the face with the aerosol spray that they've got. And Anderson just hit him with a fucking thing off the top, 1, 2, 3. And that was the end of that. One place you might want to have a little afterbirth as the last match of the program just to go off the air with some excitement. But that's the only place they don't. And that was that show.
I really didn't like that match. I didn't really like the whole show, but that match especially. You know, I thought the Bucks would be really great as heels because they exuded such heel I don't even know if mannerisms are right. They exuded a heel charisma as baby faces. So I thought, oh, this is going to be the easiest.
That's a nicer way of saying you could tell even when they were acting like baby faces that they're still just fucking smarmy-faced pricks.
And I thought they worked in the ring like heels. All things considered, a team that runs wild, cheats nonstop, double teaming, ignores the referee, hits double team moves nonstop. They wrestle like heels. But boy, are they hamming it up and playing it up. And when the show went off the air and it was that vision, and I'm thinking, man, the cameras look really good. And the set, you know, it's Daly's place, but the set looks really good. Major league commentators and a guy with a sock on his face.
Yeah.
It's a major league production. This crew here of Callis and Gallows and Anderson and Cutler and the Bucks, this looks like the most ragtag crew of nothings to be a major, like the major clique, the major faction. All these factions in this group, the major one, the one with the world champion and the tag team champions, is this. It looked so Bush League to me.
Hold on, here's another thing, is it's not even a situation where everybody's the shits. It's that somehow they figure out a way to put these guys together in a combination where the sum of the parts is less than the fucking individuals. Because if you see Gallows standing there, they're like, hey, he's a fucking giant. You could do something with that guy. And he's twice the size of anybody else on the roster. He's their Andre the Giant. Anderson, as I said, can work. When every group that they put people in, they put in ancillary, meaningless drivel like Cutlet or Knock of whatever, or
they're in the same faction.
And they're all together, but they always have some clown or group of clowns in with them to where even the guys who, if you took them on their own, would look like professionals and top talent, they're watered down by, when you look at Adam Page and he's surrounded by 7 guys wearing goofy Halloween masks and have numbers drawn on their chest with Sharpies, then Page looks like an idiot. So it's the sum of the parts that they put together devalues everybody in the group, even if they could be a talent standing on their own. And I don't know how they do it without trying. They got to be trying. You couldn't do it like this by accident. Anyway, boy, howdy. I wish we had some more documentaries and things to watch this week.
No kidding.
Well, we'll have fun watching Flair look for his treasures. Fuck, the last time I was at Flair's, the one he had in Charlotte, he could have fucking gone on a search in that house and found shit he hadn't seen in 15 years without going out the front door. So we'll watch Flair search for his treasures, probably that he's already sold many years ago, and Hell in a Cell, where they'll be in a cell and we'll be in hell. And then next week, this Saturday night, are we going to deviate our schedule here to get this in? Should we do it one and then they go back to Wednesday? Should we hold off and get their next weekend show in the next experience?
Here's the thing. I mean, if we're really going to think about it, they clearly, well, look, It's either that they clearly, and it may not be clear, they think the Friday night show is in a death time slot right now, even though they're about to have a second show there. So they're not trying, or they think this is good, even though it's in this death slot. But to me, they're not trying very hard. The Saturday is going to be the same thing. They're waiting to get back to Wednesdays. I don't know if we should delay the schedule for AEW. Maybe instead we do something nuts like watch SmackDown.
Wait a minute. All right. Well, we'll think about it. We'll think about it and try to report to you on the drive-thru.
That's right. And on Twitter.
Of what we're going to do. Yes, and on Twitter and all the various other orifices that we have to disseminate these inseminations. But they can't take Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Good God, what a great fucking time slot. As a matter, we landed that in Louisville. OVW, we landed that one night right before one of our big Louisville Gardens events. I'm trying to think, was it before The Last Dance or was it before, it might have been, it wasn't the Christmas Chaos Web. But anyway, on the WB affiliate here in Louisville, which was the brand new station that had the strongest signal, full cable coverage, we got a 2-hour special from 8 to 10. Then they took a break, and then we were back at our regular time slot from 11 to 12. So we had 3 of the 4 hours between 8 p.m. and midnight to plug our Gardens event on that particular occasion, and did fucking tremendous numbers. And so if they're going to tank Saturday night at 8 o'clock, they're just complete idiots, because that's a chance to get a whole new audience.
We'll see. We see the way they've treated Fridays.
Get them, but not keep them. Anyway, all righty.